right now, having great conversations with us, I would say. You know what I mean? You're not getting this from Ryan Satin. You ain't getting this from Sean Ross. Them niggas ain't talking to you. You know what I'm saying? What culture they ain't talking to you? You talking to Simon? That's a down. So yeah, I better put the paywall up.
Set that down.
Hey guys, this is Santi Numerel, and you're listening to Wrestling Behind the Curtain.
You already know what it is.
You already know what it is. Special day up in the new cribbo. You really can't tell because we got the new header. You've been on the YouTube channel. Boom, that's what the header is. You know what I'm saying? We're here. This is Wrestling Behind the Curtain. You should know by now, Chance. Kenzo the Great's in the building. I mean, if it's your first time, hit the subscribe before we do anything. Hit the like automatically because you're gonna like it regardless. Make a comment when we're done because when you comment on the videos, puts in the algorithm. And then, join the Discord because Discord stay popping. You probably hear when we recording, Kenny. You know what I mean? Merch, it's all in there. Doing that good stuff. Get the promos out of the way. If you don't want to hear the promos, skip the 25 seconds and then you'll be good. But you got to Geek That channel. Kenzo's on there too. JJ, Rook, Jess, and my sister. If you like Marvel, DC, anime, everything that's out right now, reality TV, go check that out. Subscribe. We do that. Got the gaming channel. The shit is lit. I've been killing this, huh? But you want to go out there, do the 2K shit, about to do the AEW shit. That's still there. Yeah, that's the channels. But here, make sure you subscribe because we're almost close to 7,000. So let's get 10,000 before January hit. You know what I mean? So that being said, so the thumbnail, you know what we're talking about. Probably gonna start with Raw. Triple H, man, is back. I told y'all here, if y'all watched the episode, because Kenzo was kind of skeptical. But if you watch the episode, I legitimately said, if they leave Triple H alone, he gonna go crazy. And mind you, he been going crazy. But I'm gonna let Kenzo take off for that.
Before we start, I'm about to give it to him straight. Y'all know Chaser, so let me
Boom.
in there.
This is what I got.
Okay. Let me first of all say I did have doubts. What was it that I didn't believe in Triple H? I saw what NXT was at the top of his heyday. It was one of my favorites. I just thought it would take time. That was my thing. I was like, let's, pump the brakes. Let's be like, come on, let's not set expectations. Like, I want Triple H to succeed. See, the thing is, right, when you set expectations, if you want it to be fixed right now, and then Triple H wasn't killing it the way he killing it, the way we about to talk about how he killing it right now, everybody still be disappointed. Like, damn, Triple H came in and changed that. Because we could have been talking about 2 weeks to 3 months of fixing Raw and SmackDown. Who knows? That's what we could have been talking about because it's the same roster. It's the same writers. And we ain't hearing about nobody being shaken up back there.
You wouldn't know it's the same roster.
I'm saying some people don't came out the cracks to all say that, but again, all of that could have been happening. And the thing is, especially the way they've done it, no program has changed. It's still the same feuds from before, like basically, like maybe 1 or 2 feuds has ended, but it's still the same feuds. We just fixing all the stories. That's not what you would expect. If you would have told me we was gonna come in and fix it, we would have had to gut all the stories. And you can't just reset wrestling TV. So if you're gonna gut the stories, you had to end every one of those storylines around the same time, one by one. And I thought that would have took time. Triple H and whoever else back there talking, they said forget about it. And so like you said, we're gonna start with Raw. Champ
and
all Triple H. Yeah.
And respectfully, he said, I'm gonna let Vince's shit play out through SummerSlam, give the old man his respect, and after that, it's a wrap. And that's exactly what he did. So go ahead, continue with Raw.
There you go. You got Ciampa doing it big on Raw. Obviously, there's a little dissent between him and Miz. We don't know what's gonna happen there, but we're gonna focus on see if he's gonna get that belt going against Bobby. That could go either way. But Ciampa getting light. We saw what happened last time Ciampa was on the roster. He just wasn't for it. He talked about the travel and all that stuff not being for him. But look at he's taking this stuff and run with him. You see him SummerSlam and the same thing as the Miz and Maurice. That's not something Ciampa would. Nah, he did stuff with DIY. They looked good and all that, but that type of thing, this is a little different. And I'm liking it, but the wrestling's still the same, and that's really what you come to see Ciampa for. He could go. We all know that. So the undersized guys they starting to come to light again because Triple H, you don't gotta be the biggest dude. You ain't gotta be almost because almost can't go. So we gonna do what we could do with who we got. So
And Tommaso is a Triple H guy.
exactly.
So I knew automatically he was going.
Another thing with Raw. Less recaps. First Raw, that was just them. It was no recaps actually.
Oh, that's the Discord.
Yeah, that's the Discord. It's bringing.
Oh, better get it free because me and Kenzo already talked about it. You know what I'm saying? This is no shade. The people in there, cool. Y'all in there, you eating good right now. But yo, we're gonna put the paywall up there. You know what I mean? We're gonna put the paywall because y'all eating really good right now, having great conversations with us. I would say. You know what I mean? You're not getting this from Ryan Satin. You ain't getting this from Sean Ross. Them niggas ain't talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Well, Coach, they ain't talking to you. You talking to Simon? That's a down. So, yeah, I better put the paywall up.
Down.
And you better get in quick because we're going to start charging. But go ahead.
That's a fact. So, you can see the different elements. So Raw had less recaps. At least the first one had no recaps. This one, you know why I had more recaps? Because they had that first hour was no commercials, or at least it was an hour straight at some point with no commercials. So they had to do stuff with that. And then you had the picture-in-picture a lot, which we talked about in Discord a lot. I was like, damn, there's a lot of picture-in-picture. Raw already long. And I already told you, personally, I'd say about AEW, I say whenever it happens when NXT was doing it a lot. I'm not a fan of picture-in-picture. I just the attention I'm paying without the commentary is just not the same unless I'm in the Discord talking my talk.
Oh, speaking of commentary, seems to be a couple of words that are no longer illegal.
We got wrestling back. But we still using WWE Universe, which we probably not gonna get rid of. Maybe that's just there. But we wrestling is no longer banned.
And wrestler.
So you could be a WWE superstar. I actually saw The Miz in an interview on the Golf Channel this morning, and they use WWE superstar, so they was probably prompted to use that but also The Miz a veteran of that word, so he might just still be using it. But yeah, we can talk about wrestlers and wrestling again. We couldn't do that. I'm pretty sure Pat McAfee said it a couple times. So
that's not gonna lie. Michael Cole sounded a little fresh.
It's a little different without Vince screaming his brain into his ear. So another thing that changed. We see it on this is a little bit quick. SmackDown. What's up?
Raw. Was Ricochet? Ricochet was on Raw too, right? Or was that SmackDown?
SmackDown. He opened SmackDown.
I will get that.
The thing I'm about to do is both SmackDown and Raw. We had with Ciampa, you had multiple matches in one night. That's a Triple H special. And then on SmackDown, you had the gauntlet match with the women. I love a gauntlet match. We were using it a little bit in the beginning of the pandemic, actually. So it's not like Vince never heard of it or anything. I'm not gonna give him credit where it's due. But I personally love him. You see that Triple H influence trying to get different wrestling on the wrestling shows. And that's another thing we talk about with Raw and SmackDown. There was so much wrestling. Yes, we got our backstage segments, which again, we watching wrestling. You want all of that. But we didn't get too many talk shows. Again, like I said, not too many recaps because there was enough wrestling going on for us to pay attention to. So big ups Raw. I was not bored to tears for 3 hours. That's an achievement by itself.
I was going to test that before we leave Raw to go to SmackDown. I don't think this is going to change in Triple H's era because I think it's already established. It's already a machine. But it could probably be 2 hours.
I mean, I really hope. I mean, they gotta find.
But I can't see them taking an hour away because I'm pretty sure.
I don't see that happening. Yeah, it's an hour commercial.
I'm pretty sure they get a check for 3, right? So you can't go back.
Yeah, they get that check. So
moving to SmackDown, like I said, Ricochet. Like when the last time we seen Ricochet?
And when last time we seen when Ricochet was there, he was getting allowed to go like that. As soon as Ricochet slid into the ring instead of hopping to it, I'm like, yo, he's saving energy for something.
No, as soon as I see
and it was a match.
As soon as I seen the Rick Ross bid, I knew it was up.
Oh man, yeah. So that was a good way to open Raw. You know how again AEW come out that first match is very important, and they want to make sure shit bang. So we still got to open in promo, which I mean, not too problem. I don't care. I don't mind it because it's just the WWE formula at this point. But as long as right after that you got that banger, that's what's up. What else on Raw we could talk about? Well, what was right after that? Another thing that changed, maybe not a change, but the controversy between Liv Morgan and Ronda Rousey. They made sure you had that match. Ronda was obviously killing Liv for a lot of it, but they made sure that finish was a funky finish that we could appreciate. It wasn't a distraction. It wasn't somebody else got involved. It wasn't like that. It wasn't somebody music hit. No, it was in the ring,
I
It was
didn't
a
really
50.
like it. I didn't really like it. I felt it was a little lazy, but I guess depending on where they go now, like I said, because it was probably a whole different finish with Vince, so that was probably how they
Yeah,
kind of saved it.
but that's the thing. Keeping that stuff alive is what's making it different.
Yeah, so
'Cause
I don't hate it, but I just didn't love it because I just for Liv to have credit, I'd rather have her win clean, but she was basically getting her ass whooped, and then that happened.
Yeah, because you can't make Ronda look soft. I guess that's how they see it. So I'm not surprised that's the way it went. What happened next? We can talk about being. Again, we said all the stories are continuing, but now we had Shinsuke versus Ludwig in a rubber match. We don't need to keep saying this. I don't see what was the point we continue in this particular, but again, you had some stuff left over from Vince's time, so you gotta do what you gotta do. So now we're gonna see. I believe at Clash of the Castle is gonna be Shinsuke versus Gunther. So
Yeah, Gunther got to win that. I mean, we'll do predictions, whatever, but unless Triple H got something up his sleeve for Shinsuke,
I don't see it, but we see. I'm sorry. I say this all the time. When you usually the one that says, "Oh, people can't they can't be fixed after a certain while." I'm usually the one that says, if you book him like this enough, people that may be believable again. But I think Shinsuke is lost. Shinsuke as a champion, I think that's dead, man. That is just been 4 or 5 reigns, 2 different belts where he just didn't defend them enough, and it just wasn't convincing enough. I just don't need to see it again. But again, who else is on the roster? Who's looking for the Intercontinental? We don't have a lot of buzz around that. But again,
plus Triple H is the workout guy, and Gunther changed his physique totally.
that's true.
So I think he earned that spot for a while. He'll probably carry that. Hopefully, the other dude will come back from Imperium and they'll get that back going because I don't understand what's happening with that, but we can talk about it another time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I saw Shotzi, I saw Ricochet, I saw Tommaso. I mean, let's talk about Triple H. I read something before we turned the cameras on. Obviously, everything's rumors, and I told you guys before, so let's preface this again, in case you're new. We're not reporters. We ain't Sean Ross. So if you say, "Oh, that shit's wrong," it don't matter. We're not reporters. We ain't Deb Meltzer. We ain't world culture like that. We
ain't got to connect like that. Nah.
No.
We're fans with big opinions and big mouths. That's
and we just try to get it to you quicker than you would normally get it. Period.
Yeah, because we keeping our eyes on it. Unlike you got stuff to do. We respect that. So you ain't gotta go looking for it. We look for it. We already doing it. That's what we do.
Got you.
We do it for the DC, the Marvel, the movies.
Me, you had a hard day at work, you had a hard week, we got you. I mean, just turn the channel on, we got you. But what I was reading was they said that Triple H was very aggressive in meetings and said he's very, very serious about switching it back to where it used to be, like as fast as possible, getting rosters back to where they need to go, which we'll talk about what happened at the end of SmackDown, which would be another thing that happened. But segueing into what I just said about bringing rosters back, if you didn't watch SmackDown, then you should know that they're bringing a tag team tournament, which I would believe is going to bring Naomi and Sasha back. I wouldn't be surprised. But nevertheless, they're having a tag team tournament, so that means they're going to put some more focus on the women. And this is going to segue to later on. I'm going to talk about AEW because y'all, Tony. But like I said, so belts coming back. Obviously, they're going to focus on the tag team division, which I would mean they're going to bring some more women. They're going to focus on wrestling. Sasha and Naomi should be back, and that's a pretty good look.
Yeah, we could talk about Triple H's impact. If you watch these live again, I had that's not a normal thing for me. Let's be honest. I usually watch that shit double speed off Hulu. They cut some parts out, which I always complain about all the time because I like promos. Y'all need to hear that again unless you're new here. So yeah, them promos, they not so scripted. Triple H, I say Triple. Ricochet is obviously scripted, but we know he can't talk for shit. So they can keep writing for him. That's fine. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't too corny.
That's the way wrestling should be. That's the way it should be. You should get assistance if that's something you're not good at. But if you could go like a Jericho, Roman, whatever like that, Kenny, then you should be able to just do what you do.
And you could see they letting the leash off of some of these people. Like some of these promos, you could tell. Hey, for sure they let leash off Pat McAfee. We thought he was extra before. This motherfucker getting on the table, kicking Cole while air guitar. He's having the time of his life, and it's making you can feel it in the crowd. The crowd they chanting without any prompting. So a lot of time people like Ricochet are putting tag teams for what reason? When Aleister Black's in the ring, because that's a tag team partner, using him as an example, Ricochet can hype the crowd up. You see the New Day do it all the time. When Big E's on the outside of the ring, he start hitting the ring. You see it, but what do we see on Friday Night SmackDown? Ricochet got the crowd going by himself. First match the crowd was up for. What really helped with that was Pat McAfee egging on Corbin and all that extraness. That got right into the crowd. The crowd felt it. And that's what the commentators are supposed to do. They're not just they're supposed to be feeding you information. It's not wrestling not a sport like other sports. We don't need all the facts. I don't care how many matches he's won unless they're recent. Don't tell me he's won. Like, actually, it might diminish when you be like, oh, there have been so many matches. Who cares? Like they don't mean anything because they do be in a lot of matches. So I think the way they're doing it with letting leash off of Pat and the wrestlers to talk, it's a major thing to me. And again, we ain't got nothing confirmed who's they letting go and who not. But we know the time, like, again, one of the biggest things when Mox came over was he was chatting that shit about how much things you had to remember. And we see Mox on a promo. You ain't got that's explain itself. So
let's talk about the impact because obviously at the end of SmackDown, we saw the return of Karrion Kross.
Killer Karrion, yeah.
So you guys know that had to be a conversation. So let's just look at what's happening with Triple H so far. I'm not even gonna say that Stephanie has nothing to do with it because I would imagine obviously they talk. You know what I mean? They seem to have a good relationship. I don't know. I don't be in people's bedrooms. But I would imagine they talk and they're both putting their heads together to see what they can do. But we got Cross back, the emergence of Tommaso, Ricochet, female wrestling, probably Naomi, and Sasha. It's looking crazy. I wouldn't put it past if Johnny comes back.
I mean, with Tommaso in the while with his tag team partner, former tag team partner, DIY. Why would he not come back?
We tease this a lot, but we both admitted, as much as we love Bray, we didn't really see him fitting in AEW because that's already pretty much taken by Alistair or AKA Malachi Black. So that whole thing to me was Bray shit. So him going there wouldn't make sense to me. Joining or not joining wouldn't make sense. Don't like the impact for him. Obviously, no, not new Japan Pro Wrestling. So it seems like he could be geared for WWE return.
I mean, he's never taken his name out of that ring, so I'm not going to. Again, I would love to see Bray creativity back on our screens, able to shine. Should have Triple H the one running it now. I'm sure he's not going to be
a proper
all the
title reign. With the proper title reign.
You know, to be honest, for me personally, Bray could be a great character without a title reign. We don't talk about Undertaker's title reigns. He's got a couple of them. He's a 20-year veteran, but when we talk about Undertaker, you talk about a lot of stuff. You can talk about the streak, maybe, but you ain't talking about, remember he had this match with Triple H when he had the belt? No, you're not really talking about it. Not because the match is not good, not because we don't respect Taker. Taker one of the GOATs. But that's not what he need to be, and you can still get that respect. I think being around the belt so much actually will hurt Bray a lot of the time. So if he come back and just be the Fiend, the Bray, whatever character he want, he the man, the creative, let him have it. Maybe not go around the belt, or maybe they can, and we can write it better than it's been written so far. But I don't think the problem with Bray was the belt. I think it was the way they did things. So.
That's obvious because it's a whole different change now. But we're not going to get into booking Bray. We'll do that in another.
Box-like structure, in the words of Michael Cole from WrestleMania. Box. It was just a box. I'm glad we don't have to worry about box-like structure comments anymore, please, because that don't make no sense.
But Triple H is on the roll. He ready. So, ain't much to say. Obviously, comment what y'all think about Raw and SmackDown. Is Triple H's reign looking good? But that's going to segue into also what we're talking about with Triple H. I don't know if we talked about Tony's booking. I don't know. Oh, if you're not a fan of AEW, you could leave now because we're about to talk about AEW. But if you are, we're about to get in Tony's ass balls.
Actually, even if you're not a fan, I'm about to kind of shit on him anyway. So y'all kind of like that. So y'all might as well stick around for that too.
So we talked about Tony's booking is getting kind of now it's really under the microscope. Because one, we've already always said, no matter what's going on in WWE, their women have the best wrestlers right now. Now Triple H is focusing on them with Steph, and they're bringing people back. So they're about to book that shit crazy, which I see what you did. Big shout out to Madison Rain coming over to AEW. That could be a good look. I don't know if I wanted to see her wrestle so much. No disrespect. It has nothing to do with your skills. It's just everyone. When we get older, you don't go as much and certain things happen. So it has nothing to do with your skills. It's just, I like you probably, it doesn't matter. Anyway, it was a good move to bring her over there. But that booking got to get stronger. And then Dynamite. Dynamite is usually a good show. Like Rampage would be iffy, but Dynamite is usually that was a pretty solid Dynamite. Dynamite looked like you guys didn't even try to compete with Raw. Like you wanted to make a statement like, we don't care what's going on over there. We're just going to chill. Because Dynamite was not that great. And Rampage, the last 2 weeks, was not great at all.
Yeah, let me get into it. I might need another shot. So you kind of started off lighter than I thought you was. So, but you ended up getting to the same place I thought you would get anyway. But let me put it like this. They in trouble. They ain't no other ways about this. Tony's plate is pretty full. We talked about Ring of Honor might be in how that's gonna work. If we're gonna talk about
question.
What's up?
People asked Cody if he had a conversation with Triple H. He said yes. Everyone wanted to know what the conversation was. He said, "I'm not gonna tell y'all that."
Right.
What if they had that conversation to already know what was about to change, and that's why he left?
Maybe they did. I mean, if anyone would have known, it would have been Trips and Stephanie. I mean, this could have been again all these things that ended up leading to Vince going away.
Because you're right, they're in trouble.
They ain't new.
I'm gonna let you finish on that Kanye shit of why they in trouble. But MJF is leaving.
Oh, I got that in my back pocket too. Trust me, because the people talking. The Twitter again. We trying to stay off Twitter because that's what we got a Discord for. But every once in a while, you got to pop in there to see what people talking about because y'all don't comment enough. Comment more so I can read the comments so I don't have to go on Twitter no more because it's toxic. But rest of us toxic. Get the shirt. Anyways, we could talk about it. They might be in trouble for multiple reasons, but let's also look at this. We talk about all the time. They book is supposed to be long term. So let's not say, oh, maybe they didn't care about Raw. I mean, maybe this is how the night was booked to go already. Maybe this is a lull because we've talked about it before, where when it's a certain distance in between, because we talk about how we do like having only 4 pay-per-views and a couple of TV specials, but we do notice between those big 4, there's a little time passes. Sometimes there's a little lull because you don't have the hype from the last one and it's too far from the next one. We've talked about that before, but it's the wrong time for that. Triple H on y'all ass. I'm telling you, but not just that. I'm gonna give y'all my G1 review. The next one, the update is coming soon, but that's on fire too. And from what I heard, Impact ain't sleeping. This is the worst. And not only got Ring of Honor. I don't want to say it's in his way. I respect Ring of Honor. I love Ring of Honor. I've been watching it for a long time. But he booking that, and he not booking it good. Is he getting a TV deal? He the businessman behind that. All that stuff going on top of it.
And there's rumors with the whole Warner shit. It ain't looking good. You see how Warner Discovery cut out mad DC shit.
Yeah.
Supposedly they're talking about cuts with AEW.
I mean, yeah, think about it. A TNT contract, it ain't nothing to sniff at. You ain't gonna find that kind of money everywhere. And Peacock is Comcast. That's NBC. That's all that stuff. So that means that's dead. That's what WWE already. I mean, it can happen, but I really, really doubt it because again, I use Peacock. I watch a lot of. Y'all see the shirt. I watch a lot. That's where it's on the Premier League. It's on Peacock. So I was watching it this morning. When WWE got its own tab. That thing say browse sports news WWE at the top by itself. So what you gonna do? You can't sign AEW now. What you gonna change that to wrestling? No, now I gotta go on the sports and they got less of a spotlight. You already paid how many $1 billion for WWE? You can't pay no more money for AEW. Where are you gonna get that money from? So now they gotta gotta make Turner happy. They already having to move stuff for hockey playoffs and NBA playoffs. Again, they might be in trouble. And let's get into that next thing. You mentioned it already. MJF. Hey, the streets is asking. He was already doing the bidding war stuff before. He was already, and again, I said it. Y'all know me. I said everything will work. I didn't think that was work. I thought he was really thinking about, hey, I could be the best wrestling villain ever right now. If I go to WWE 1 year, 2 years, and then after that, first of all, in WWE, the run he could have, even with Vince at the helm, could have been crazy. Now we got Triple H up here. So now we even talking about crazier. Now you think about that, where he could go back to AEW from there, he could hit the indies like a crazy, he could revolutionize the industry. He could go to New Japan. That man ain't never been to New Japan yet. He could do so much and you talk about WWE as his platform, and we letting people get promos of their own now. AEW better resign that man, or you in even more trouble. Because people asking where MJF at. He ain't been on TV in a long time.
Yo, unless he's a super loyal person, I don't think they sign him back. I think it's a wrap. Because
they're gonna have to start calling Jay the pillar or something. Because remember, them 4 pillar talk gonna have to go out the window if they lose one. And lose one like this, I don't know if you're really just not trying to pay him. That's crazy. It ain't my money. I can't tell you how to spend it, Tony. Even though I do like to tell rich people how to spend their money, mostly to give it to me. But if it's just about money, I say give it to him personally. If it's something else, he looking for another new thing. I mean, I've been watching MJ. I mean, I don't want to say I've been watching MJF because I've seen him on MLW. I've seen him on the Indies. You know, a couple of different things. He seemed to be about his business. He's elevating.
This is why it's over for him. Because if it wasn't a work, and he was obviously frustrated, like he said it was.
I need another shot because now I got to worry about where MJF going.
Like if it wasn't a work, and he was really frustrated about what was happening. Look at what's happening. Trips is going to give him the bag. That's 1. No more Vince. That's 2. It's wide open because they want people to come back to WWE. That's 3. And 4, the roster is still so thin that it's free balling right there. It's free balling for you. Why would you go to AEW? Like, why would you go back? If you're having beef with Tony, he didn't want to pay you, but he paid Mox and all them other people. And this is all for the sake because, I don't pocket check. If that's happening, they're not really competing right now. So you appear to be losing. Why would you go back to that? Because now you could be the reason why WWE came back.
The ratings ruler, he used to say, look, man, I already told you if that happened before, it was going to be one of the greatest things we've ever seen in modern day wrestling.
And
now
with this, I mean, we're going to say MJF. I can see Jericho going back.
I already said I could see Jericho going back before, but now it'd be another because master reinvention like to reinvent. He could reinvent again. And remember, we talked about how TV 14 was gonna make too big of a difference. It might now with Triple H up there. Like everything is different again. So
I need to see the wrestling fan in Tony Khan right now. The one that watched the Monday Night Wars. Like now it's go time. Now it's go time. Is it fair to say he beat Vince in NXT? Yes, he did. Because they was killing NXT. Nobody was watching it really. But you know why? It was because of Vince. Are you going to beat a Triple H ratings war?
What we're gonna have to talk about with all this stuff going on. We talked about Kenny might be able to come back at the next pay-per-view. But will AAB will they be able to survive that long? Because we could talk about, remember, no matter how, I'm gonna say this again, no matter how bad Raw has been, they clocking that million easy. Raw improving, Raw getting the casuals, us being up here talking about. I don't care if y'all say we big-headed. We come up here, we talk about mostly AEW all the time because we know that's what the people enjoy because we talking to the wrestling fan. But you know how much easier it's going to be to talk to the casual? Who going to be – people still call WWE – people don't even say wrestling. They say WWE all the time, just like they say UFC instead of MMA.
Britt Baker.
They basically synonym.
Britt Baker literally just said that WWE is the biggest ever because you can go anywhere, in an airport, anywhere, and people know what WWE is.
Yeah, but again, like I was saying, now with us going back to talk about them a little more because again, it's improving. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's just the way we work. We gonna talk about what's popping. So
if you've been here, you know. If you're new, Go back and check. All those other videos, we pretty much were slamming WWE. Like, nah, I ain't watching Raw. Nah, I ain't watching SmackDown. We cool. So what about Dynamite? What about Rampage?
Only wrestling show
We
I missed
started the
this
show
week
talking about
was
Raw.
Raw. The only show I missed this week was NXT, and hell, Triple H get his hands on that. I mean, again, NXT was my baby. I might have to go back. Let's see.
And the rumor is they might be going back to somewhat black and gold.
Hopefully, that Nickelodeon off my TV.
Yeah, it's just too bright. It's just because it's too bright. Looks like paint splash. It wasn't a bad idea if it was booked correctly.
The problem is the dudes who specialize in dark and dingy went down there and tried to make something colorful when it was dark and dingy. It made no sense. Hey, I want to do. You know what? After I do my G1 Climax video, I might do a ideas that could have worked under if Triple H took over sooner video. I might have that stuff cooking in my brain right now. It might be the shots. I don't know.
Look, I'm about to say, look at all we gotta do is get us some shots.
Don't hold me too accountable for that. YouTube, don't ask for the video, man. Actually, ask for the video, then I definitely make it. But you know what you thought about? How good would Raw Underground have been if Triple H was at a helm instead of Vince? If we didn't get 8 weeks back.
But I don't think it was Vince. Technically, I think it was Shane.
Well, no, that was Vince giving Shane his hair, throw it, and then looking away. Can you imagine that's an actual part? Because it could have been good. The premise is a smart idea. That's where Omos and Riddick Moss and all those dudes should be. That's where they should be. Down there being big, hitting each other. Get off my regular TV. Because then, I mean, if I really want to, I can walk away. Oh, it's Raw Underground segment. Which is actually good business. If you have people watching your show at a certain time because they know when your best is on, that's still good. And then you got the people who never going to change your channel anyway. So put whatever you want on. That's just business. Black 3-hour show.
If Triple H runs Raw and SmackDown and let Shawn Michaels run NXT, might be a problem.
I'm ready. I've watched so much wrestling this week, and people have been talking to me because everybody. Obviously, I'm not a wrestling fan who don't got no other wrestling fan friends. I got a couple people who they don't really help me up about wrestling as much. They talk to me about pay-per-views and stuff like that. They was texting me about Raw and SmackDown, asking me if I saw it. Well, of course I saw it. It's hello, wrestling behind the curtain. But again, like I said, the casuals, they're really interested right now. And why wouldn't they be? Look at that ending of SmackDown.
Oh, so I'll say it at the end because we're about to come to the end of this. Because I know y'all, we usually do the quick things, but this was serious. So this is like a 35-minute clip, but we usually do the 5-10 minutes. Don't get you in and out. But this was serious. But we will be talking later about.
I'll be quick on the G1. Don't worry about it.
We're gonna be talking G1. We're gonna do Triple H shit. We're gonna do Tony, you in trouble. Might be talking about MJF. Might be talking who's coming back. So much to do. But what I was gonna say, since we're gonna end this anyway, is you're gonna want to hop into Discord, especially this week. I'll be taking this week off, maybe, probably. Unless something crazy happens, I'll still be in the YouTube community tab, so make sure y'all join that. But I'm gonna be in Chicago. I'm saying, dropped my boy off in college playing that football, so I'm not gonna really be doing videos that much unless something crazy happens. Unless fucking Bray shows up on Raw or SmackDown or something, and I just can't not do it. Other than that, hop into Discord because we'll be talking about get the merch. You can show. I told you if y'all get the merch, you send us pictures in the Discord. I'll put it on here. I'll put it on the YouTube. I'll let people know. I'll give you a little shout out. If you got like 20 followers, you might get some more. I don't know. You know what I mean? Let me help you sponsor. We'll do what? We need sponsors.
You could sponsor the Behind the Curtain sponsor. Like I said, since we about to get out of here, I just gave it to you. Straight shot, no chaser. That G1 update coming soon. I ain't forget, y'all. I've just been letting it cook. It's been so good, and it's back to back to back. Let's be honest. The thing, I ain't got time to update y'all. By the time I got my video,
Jay White's killing it. Remember who ranked him number one, and remember who ranked him last.
Remember who said he was a good wrestler, and I was ranking by as leaders of the book club. Okay, he might have just really taken that personal. I promise to God, this man is on a tear. I don't know who sent Jay White the clip and ain't tagged me, because clearly he doesn't see it. Because damn, y'all see him in the head.
Man is on a roll. But can I give you the outro? Like always, Be yourself. Like, subscribe, share, join the Discord, get the merch, join the Patreon. Let's go.